Okay, and now? Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of our Skype show. Thank you again to Meir Gabay and to Joan Hari for arranging this show. We're studying tonight Parashat synagogue. We would like to dedicate tonight's show לעילוי נשמת רבקה בת צ'יינה, and wish להבדיל חיים טובים, ונמש רפואה שלמה for גרביאל נעמי בית לאה מלכה, אלישבע בת שבע בת רבקה, and also for my mother, בעזרת השם תקווה ז'ני בת רוזט, should have a רפואה שלמה בקרוב. So a few very interesting points about the Parashah. Let's see how we're doing tonight. We had a late start, so sorry for the delay. But if you like to turn your Chumash, a very interesting idea, beautiful idea, which we learned from the Parashah from Moshe Rabbeinu. And this is a big lesson for every investor in life. If you look at Perek Yud Gimel, Pasuk Yud Tet. Is anybody with me? Thank you. Look at just look at Moshe את עצמות יוסף עמו. What did Moshe take? It says, ויקח משה את יוסף עמו. Moshe to Yosef. Anyone with me, or am I by myself?
No, I'm okay.
Yeah. Eli.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone's with me. Okay, good. Okay, fine. Thank you. I just didn't see anyone. What's exciting about Beit Yosef? Moshe took the bones of Yosef, and this is where I want to speak about this for just a few minutes. This is a beautiful point of it. What was Moshe doing with Yosef's bones? Does anybody know? Did I speak about this before?
That he pulled them out of the Nile.
Exactly. Yeah. It was. He took it out of Nile in Egypt. Now the Midrash said something amazing. You know what do we learn from this? What's the point of the Torah telling us this pasuk about Yikach Moshe et Atzmot Yosef? So bear with me. This is a beautiful lesson to learn from him. The Midrash says on this pasuk of Moshe, pasuk in Mishlei, Chacham levav Yikach mitzvot. What does that mean? Someone who's a Chacham, a wise man, Chacham levav. Chacham lev, sorry. Lev yikach mitzvot. Someone who is wise of the heart, it's mitzvot Yosef. You're taking them at mitzvot Yosef. That's okay. You did a mitzvah. What's Chacham about it? Where's the Chacham involved? Why does Mishlei, Shlomo HaMelech gets excited and he says, Chacham lev yikach mitzvot. If you want to be wise of heart, you have to know how to buy your mitzvot, how to take the mitzvot. And he gives example of the Midrash of Moshe Rabbeinu when he took the Atzmot Yosef. Now, does anybody know when Moshe Rabbeinu took the mitzvot, took the Atzmot Yosef? When did he take the bones of Yosef? In fact, that's the major. Another time when Am Yisrael left Mitzrayim, right? This is what everybody, because I promised Avraham ki b'rechush gadol yitzu b'Mitzrayim, that your children are going to go out with big treasures. Now, what did he mean? HaKadosh Baruch Hu really meant big treasure is the Torah. The Torah is the big treasure. But Am Yisrael, they don't understand the big treasure is the Torah. So I have to give them something small, little gold and silver. So he did mitzvah, everyone go take gold and silver. The mashal is, you send a child to his first job. He's delivering newspapers, okay? You send him off. And you give him a paycheck. Okay, so that's his first paycheck. Now he doesn't know what a check is, he understands sweets. So you give him a $100 check, and you give him a little bag of sweets. And he's, I'm absurd, he got a bag of sweets. Yeah, okay, it's $1, this bag of sweets. But the big money, that's the check. So Israel, the big check, that's the Torah, that's the rechush gadol. But in order to make us happy, because we don't appreciate what the Torah is, we want to know where's the money. Where's the sweets? We want our sweets. So Hashem gave us to leave Mitzrayim with the gold and silver. So the Midrash says, everyone had a mitzvah to take the gold and the silver out of Mitzrayim. And Moshe Rabbeinu, at the time when everyone was collecting, what was he doing? He went to look for the Atzmot Yosef. Says Shlomo Melech, this is wise man. This Chacham Lev, Yikach mitzvot. Now what's so clever about that? But Moshe Rabbeinu had 2 mitzvot.
Maybe we can try closing the video. I cannot hear anything.
Okay, so imagine Mashiach is coming, and he says to you, okay, listen, you all need to go to the Royal Bank of England and the Royal Treasury. One is to take gold and silver. This is a mitzvah day. So everyone this is the best mitzvah I've ever had. Yeah, everyone's gonna run to get the treasures, and that's what all of Israel did. Moshe Rabbeinu said, "Listen, there's another mitzvah. Mitzvah of Atzmot Yosef." And Moshe Rabbeinu had to choose to do 2 mitzvot. He had 2 mitzvot in front of him. Which one can he do? It's 2 mitzvot important. What should he choose? Says this is after Chacham. Chacham chooses which is the right mitzvah to do. If you got a mitzvah to go to, where you got a mitzvah to go to be Menachem Avelim. Sameach Chatan Vekala is big mitzvah. Menachem Avelim is also a big mitzvah. What should you do? 2 mitzvot. What should you do? How do you choose? You can't do both. You try and do both is the best. But if you can only do one of them, or if you have a shiur to go to and you've got a simcha to go to, you go about mitzvah or brit milah, it's a big mitzvah to go. What should you do? So you have to be chacham.
Maybe the one that is less comfortable.
Oh, so
less comfortable because
less comfortable is a bigger mitzvah. So in fact, the Gemara says, "Le'olam adam yarutz lebet ha'avel yoter mibet ha'mishteh." That's the way the Gemara says. If you got a wedding or a mourner's house to go and to comfort the mourners, lenachem avelim, he says you should do that first. That's a big mitzvah. You'll get big chizuk from it. You help them. They need to. Every single person makes a big difference for them. It's more comforting, and you'll gain from yourself. But if you okay, everyone happy at wedding. Okay, you'll go. You also be happy, and if you don't go, everyone will still be happy. It's not going to make a big change out of it. But if you go to the mourner's house, so first of all, they'll be more affected, and they need you. Every person makes a big difference for them, and also you'll gain from it because you realize, what's really life about. Everyone has a lesson. When you go back from Menachem Avelim, you just rethink about what your life is about, what you're doing, you're heading straight. So the Gemara is always better to do that. Now here you have 2 mitzvot. Moshe Rabbeinu had either the chance of collecting money from the Egyptians or Atzmot Yosef. Why Moshe Yosef? Because you have to weigh up. Lekach is an expression. Now, if you're an investor, you want to buy the best mitzvot that you can buy with your money or with your time. Your limited time. So Moshe made a cheshbon like this. Yeah? So Gilad made a cheshbon of what's uncomfortable, but Moshe Rabbeinu made a different calculation. He said, if I don't go collecting money, there's enough Jews going to collect it. Everyone's going to be doing. There's enough people to do that mitzvah. That mitzvah is taken care of. But there's a mitzvah which nobody does. Where there's a mitzvah which is no one's doing it. That's the biggest. Moshe Rabbeinu said, who's going to take that Atzmot Yosef? If everyone has got choice to take out the bones of Yosef, who's going to go for the bones? neglected mitzvah, that's the mitzvah I'm going to go for. And this is a big lesson that we learn for. When you want to do mitzvah, you go for the mitzvah which is the most neglected mitzvah, which no one does. I remember in yeshiva they told us, if you're learning go to learn Torah at a time when no one is, Friday afternoon. Who's learning Torah? So get yourself ready early for Shabbat and go early, an hour, 2 hours early before Shabbat, and then go and learn. Well, no one's learning. You're going to get the reward from everyone, because that's a mitzvah which is neglected. Or nowadays, any time you learn Torah, it's a mitzvah which is neglected. Who's learning Torah nowadays? But if you go learn Torah, that's a special. You're going to reap the rewards from the Chazon Ish. He says whenever you can, when there's a mitzvah to other people, let other people do the mitzvah. You've got your own mitzvah to do. There's halakha in Rambam brings down this halakha, and also Shulchan Aruch. It says Talmud Torah keneged kulam. The biggest mitzvah a person can do is the mitzvah of Torah. Limud Torah is keneged kulam, keneged all the mitzvot. If you have got opportunity to learn Torah or do a different mitzvah, learn Torah overall, except with the exception. Does anyone know the exception?
Tzedakah.
Tzedakah. Does anyone know what does Shulchan Aruch say? It depends on the circumstances of tzedakah. The Shulchan Aruch says a person is obligated to do Torah and every time which is possible, whether he's young or old, healthy or sick. And the only exemption which the Shulchan Aruch gives in Rambam is mitzvah which means a mitzvah which cannot be done by other people. For example, mitzvah for you, no one can put. You have to do it. If it's your family, if you need to help your kids, take them to school, it's a mitzvah. No one's going to come take your kids. You have to do it. That's your mitzvah. You're put from. Or if you need to go to work or do something, any mitzvah which cannot be done by other people, you have to do it. And that's a mitzvah more than Talmud. But if it's a mitzvah which can be done by other people, let other people do the mitzvah. You go sit and learn Torah. You go to the shiur. So let's say you got a mitzvah of helping your wife, and you got a shiur Torah. Skype share Thursday night, and your wife is cooking for Shabbat Thursday night. Now, who's going to do that mitzvah? If you can help, you can get help, bring her a cleaner, someone to come home, help her out. So it's if other people can do it, you go to the shiur. But if there's no one to help your wife, then you pass a mitzvah. So maybe help before the shiur, maybe help after the shiur, maybe help during the shiur if you can. But whatever you do, go mitzvah she'yashar. So says the Chazon Ish, this is a story what happened. There was a yeshiva boy, and in Yerushalayim. The Chazon Ish lived in Bnei Barak, and he went to the Brit Milah in Yerushalayim. And he's sitting there in the Sandak, and then he sees a Bachur from the yeshiva. He says, what are you doing here? He goes, what do you mean? I came for the Brit Milah. He goes, you came for the Brit Milah? You instead of learning Torah, you come from the Brit. He said, what did you come for? He said, I came because I have to come. I'm the Sandak. But you don't know it. You don't need to be here. Don't come. So the Bachur says, okay. He understood the Musa. He says, okay, fine. He said, I'm here now. Okay, so I'll stay for the bit and then I'll go. And Chazon Ish said, what are you doing? He goes, what do you mean? What am I doing? I came already. I shouldn't have come, but I'm already here now. Well, let me stay. He says, no, go home. Go back to Torah. He says, what do you mean? He says, you shouldn't be here. You're going to go back and gain an extra half an hour of learning Torah. It's worth much more than you can gain here by the now. And he says, this is the Mafresh. The Gemara says, Talmud Torah keneged kulam. It's bigger than any mitzvah you could reach. So you go back to learn. That was a big lesson they see from the Chazon Ish. Go back and learn. And that is Moshe Rabbeinu, Chacham levav yikach mitzvot. That he took Atzmot Yosef because he made the cheshbon, which is the mitzvah which is going to be neglected by other people. I heard another chidush. He said, why did Moshe do this mitzvah of Atzmot Yosef? What was the
sorry, Rabbi, I couldn't hear the last two sentences.
So we gave one explanation to what does it mean Moshe took the Atmot Yosef b'chokhmah. What was the so chokhmah about taking the Atmot Yosef? Because he made a calculation of which is the biggest mitzvah to do. Which one is which is not done al yidei acherim, which is neglected mitzvah, is not done by other people. I made mitzvah, that's the biggest mitzvah which you can do, and it's just not done by others. Another explanation is chesed shel emet. When Moshe Rabbeinu says, I've got a mitzvah now to do, this last mitzvah before I leave Mitzrayim, I need to make a good investment. You know, if you've got £1,000 to invest, you're going to make sure you're going to save the best investment for it. If you've got time to invest, you want to make sure your time is most productive. When you're buying mitzvot and you're taking mitzvot, he said, which mitzvah am I going to do? I want to do the longest lasting mitzvah. He said, when the Jews have the mitzvah to take money from Egypt, the Egyptians, so once they take in the money, that's it, end of mitzvah. Mitzvah's finished. Says Moshe Rabbeinu, but if I take out the bones of Yosef to be buried in Eretz Israel, so this is chesed shel emet. This is an ever long-lasting mitzvah, because every second that he's there and he's buried in Eretz Israel, that's part of my mitzvah. I get dividends. I get interest on the mitzvah. So this is the longest lasting mitzvah. I'm going to go for this mitzvah. Is the highest payment.
But there is another angle to it, because if you think about it, Yosef, he shvia, so they swore. So yesh po inyan shel shvua. It's shvua. It's not a joke. Now Moshe, as the leader, it was his responsibility to make. If he skipped it, he needed to pay the price for the shvua, for not keeping the shvua. It's a serious business.
Oh, very good, very interesting. Thank you, Gilad, for saying that. See, I always had this. This is unclear to me, and thank you, Gilad, for mentioning that. It doesn't clear to me. Yosef made a shvuah to Bnei Israel as a whole, but who's responsible for fulfilling that shvuah?
The leader.
And Moshe himself. Oh, so very good. So Gilad said is the leader. It wasn't clear to me why that Moshe has to do it.
But I'll tell you why. Because if the last person, the simplest guy in the crowd would say, "What? It's not me. I never swore to anything. I haven't promised anything." But and so on and so forth. Eventually, it could come down to the leader. So the leaders promised, and so forth, and so on. And actually, it's not only the leaders was Shevet Levi.
Oh, so very good. I like your answer, Gilad, and it fits in exactly with the next explanation of the Chacham Lev. Because I assumed that it would be the children of Yosef who would be obligated on them, like Yaakov obligated Yosef, his son, to bury him in Marat HaMechpelah. So to Yosef,
and I didn't understand
Israel, it would make sense that his children, the sons of Yosef, Menashe and Ephraim, the children, their descendants, they would have to take him out. Why would Moshe? So in fact, I saw an explanation. I heard that Moshe made a calculation. He said, and he took the bones of Yaakov and he buried the bones of Yaakov. So, and he buried the bones of Yaakov. Should bury Yosef, like what Gilad is saying. And Gilad is saying even more than that. It's an obligation on the leader, not that it's just ra'ui and fitting for the leader to bury the Yosef like Yosef was the leader. But in fact, it's his obligation, and that could be a good explanation in the Midrash. That Moshe made the calculation, Chacham Lev Yikach Mitzvot, that it's obligation on him as a leader of Am Yisrael to bury the Yosef Atzamot. That's a beautiful explanation. Like that.
And actually, Yosef, if you think about it, Yosef actually swore them to take his bones only when Pakod Ifkod. So he didn't say take my bone. He said Pakod Ifkod ve'alitem et atmotaim. He said Pakod Ifkod. It's now. It's his responsibility. So it's on his shift.
Mm-hmm. So very good. So now we've given now 4 explanations on what's the chokhmah of Moshe taking the bones of Yosef. One explanation we said because it's an investment, it's a mitzvah which wasn't done by anyone else. We gave another explanation that was it's mitzvah which is continuous. Because the other explanation we gave because he was the leader, Yosef was the leader, he married Yaakov. He's the one who should be taking them. And the addition was that it's an obligation on the leader because he made a shvuah all of Israel. And who's responsible? The leader. I like that, Gilad.
Okay.
So moving on, I want to explain to you what's the Yikach Atmot Yosef Imo. What does it mean with him? Does anyone take anything with him? What would you take with him? So there's a famous mashal, and maybe I mentioned it before, but I think it's important to repeat it at least once a year. You know, there's a famous mashal story. There's a poor man, and his family sent him away to go away on business, try and get money back for the family. And they departed. He went on the ship to far away, and they promised, there's a country which is just full of riches, and he should go there for a few months until he build up his business, and then he'll come back, come back a wealthy man and be able to support, his family. So he left his children, his wife, he left them whatever money he had, and he said, listen, borrow money, and when I come back, we'll pay back everything. So he goes off on his journey, very far away, and he gets to, country, and he gets off the ship, he takes his luggage, and he starts, looking where he can start business. And he sees, he gets to the main road, and he sees the main street, and he can't believe his eyes. He looks on the floor, and he sees the whole floor paved in tar. And a concrete. Digging up the pavement. He's putting the diamonds in his pocket, and he's picking up the rubies, and he can't believe. And okay, where you from? Well, yeah. Hello? What was the last thing you had? The poor man, he left his family and he said goodbye to them. He left his children behind. He told his wife, borrow money, and I'm gonna go business, and I'll come back and I'll pay back all the loans, repay. And he gets on the ship, goes to the faraway land, and he gets off the ship and he looks for the main streets, to start looking for business. He's got his family to support, to raise money for them, wants to build up. And he gets there and he looks at the floor, and he sees the main road, instead of being paved with tar and cement, concrete pavement, he sees these gemstones on the floor. The whole road is diamonds. It's like a white road of diamonds, and there's pearls and rubies and gemstones. And he just dives on the floor, and he starts digging up the road and filling up his pockets. And he said, I can't believe his luck. He said, this is amazing. This is a dream. What? It's unreal. And a person walks past him and looks at him and like, what are you doing? He's like, what do you mean? I'm taking the stones. And he just walks past him. And he goes, okay, I don't understand why no one's picking up. And he just carries on. Giggling. And they run off. And he's just staring at him. What a weirdo. And he doesn't understand. He's all confused. And then he sees like a tramp on the floor, homeless. He sees a homeless tramp on the floor. man, you look like a respectable person.
Sorry, but I can't.
You're dressed in a nice coat. He said, hello? Gilad? Is this Rob?
I couldn't. I hardly understand. I could hardly hear anything. Sorry.
Where was the last thing you heard, Gilad?
So the man that passed and asked him.
So the children were laughing at him, saying, what is he doing picking up things from the floor? And everyone's giving him funny faces. And then he sees a tramp on the floor in the corner. And he says to this person, he's just arrived in this country, he says, listen, young, see your father. You look like you're a person. And he says, this is not what we should be doing, like picking up stones from the floor. So everyone's just going to laugh. He goes, why are they laughing? He says, because this is worthless. You're in a country where no one cares about this. He says, really? He says, no one's going to respect you. No one's going to look up to you. No one's going to want to do business with you. No one cares about this. This is the diamonds. This is the stone. This is like sand on the floor. No one cares about this. He says, you want to get respect. You want to get something. He says, this country works differently. He says, wax candles. You light it. It makes light. That's what's worth over here. And then he says, like a rich carriage. Rich man comes off a carriage. He sees the tramp on the floor, the homeless, and he throws him, one of those little tea light candles, and he gives it to him. And the poor man goes and runs to the food shop, and he buys himself some food with his candle and gets some food. And this guy, realizes that, if he wants to eat some food, no one's gonna take money over here. No one's gonna take gold, and no one's gonna take any diamonds. If he wants to eat, he has to make wax. And when he realized that, so he just dumped all this, all the stones back on the floor. He said, what do I need this for? And he tried to find himself a place to sleep, a place to eat, where to do business, went to the business market. And then he started slowly, he started trading. And after a few weeks, he managed to get himself a trade, and he got his own shop, and he's got his own. He made business, and he actually became quite stable. One stable person in the community, one of the noblest, respected people. Big business, and he developed his business. After a year, after 2 years, he decided it's time to go back home to his family. So he said, "Okay, I've got to take back all the wax with me." So he put it up all on the ship. He loaded it all up. And he came set back to the journey, went back to his home country. And as the ship is coming back, he said all the wax on the ship is melting. It's going bad. It's going smelly. It's not worth anything anyway. Wax, it's like the cheapest thing you can have. But even the wax that he had is all going bad. And when he finally gets to the seashore, all his family's out there to greet him, and he's coming back. He's got a fancy coat, fancy hat. He's looking good. And his family see him, goes, "Oh, Daddy's rich. Look at this, Daddy." And they come and give him hugs and kisses. And then, "Okay, what'd you bring?" He says, "All the ship is mine." He goes, "What'd you bring?" "What's the smell?" "Which was the smell?" The wax. What do you mean you bought wax? You have for 2 years and you came back with wax? He goes, "Yeah, wax. It's good stuff." And then everyone looked at him with his funny faces and says, "What do you mean you came back with wax? Wax is nothing. It's not worth anything here." And then the man realized his mistake. He said he got so caught up in the culture of wax and in the wax, and he needed wax to eat and needed wax to sleep, and he thought wax was actually worth something, and then he realized that the wax is really worthless. And he started crying. And his family was like, "Okay, don't cry, guys. What have I done? I just wasted all my time on this wax, which now has gone bad. It's not even worth anything." And they just took him home. And he just took off his shoes and his coat, and he just was crying there. And then out of his coat, in the hem of his coat and his shoes, there just fell up a few stones, which he had from the first day, was left in his shoes, which left in his coat. And his wife sort of goes, "Wow, what is this?" He goes, "What is this? Is this diamonds? We're rich. Look at this. We're rich. We've got diamonds. This is amazing. Oh, you're amazing, Daddy. Look at you come. And they all just says, no, this is people from. This is what's worth it. And then you just realize how stupid he was. He had so much he could have taken. He just took so little, and so much more he could have taken. And this is really the Tao that the person had. That's the mashal. Very famous mashal. But what's the name shal? He said, we're all here on a journey. We're here in Olam Hazeh, all on a journey to collect mitzvot. Our neshama is here. But we're here with a guf. Our guf needs to eat. Our guf needs to sleep. So we'll get busy in Olam Hazeh, and we will, try and get money for ourselves, and we work, we spend time making money and investments, and building our house and the family and our business. But what are we taking with us? This is just the flags, the wax. You go back to Olam Haba, everything stays here. We don't take anything with us. It's the mitzvot that we can get here for free. A person wears tzitzit. Every second he's wearing the tzitzit, he's getting a mitzvah for doing nothing. You sleep with it and you're doing a mitzvah. Shabbat afternoon, okay, you go to bed, you have a rest. You take off your tzitzit, you just took off the mitzvah. Leave your tzitzit, don't go to sleep. Every second of sleep is a double mitzvah. Gam on Shabbat and gam with the tzitzit. You say mitzvah. You have so many mitzvot, easy. Gam to a shiur Torah, you sit down, I can have your dinner, you're at home, cozy, comfortable. Shiur Torah. Every second is mitzvah. And it's so easy to get mitzvah over here, but once you come back, that's it. Whatever you've done, you're done. What you missed, you missed. And this is Vayikach Atzmo Yosef Imo. Moshe Rabbeinu, he wanted to take the mitzvah with him to Eretz Yisrael. He took the bones with him. This is the only thing that we can take with us to Olam Haba. So that's really the sheifot that we need to take a lesson from here from the Parashah, to take with us our mitzvot. So it's getting late now. Should we do? You would like to hear something about Shirat Hayam or something about Tu B'Shvat?
Both.
It's getting late, so we're gonna have to make a choice.
No, Shirat Hayam.
Okay, let's do Shirat Hayam. So
No,
I saw
apologies, right? That I took the liberty to answer.
Thank you, Gilad. No, you helped me because the Tu B'Shvat was a long piece. Maybe we'll do it another time. But there's a beautiful piece on Shirat Hayam, on Derech HaRemez. Also fits into what we said just now as well. But let's look at the pasuk, Perek Tet Vav, pasuk Chaf. Have you got the pasuk? Yes. Yes. Yeah, go on. Just translate for me now. Do you want to translate the pasuk? ידע? ותקרא את עצמו בידה. Yeah, what's the next? And how does it carry on the pasuk? Oh, bimcholot. What does bimcholot mean? Bimcholot just means dancing, but also bimcholot means a specific type of dancing. It means dancing in circles. Like you dance at a wedding, everyone dances in circles. That's the original. This is the source for dancing in circles from the Shirat Hayam. So it's very interesting over here. And I'm going to ask you. This is on the Pirush on level of Remez of Drush. I saw this is just a beautiful piece. I saw it from a sefer called Vayar Moshe, from Rabbi Moshe Solomon. A beautiful piece. He asks over here, why does he say over here, Vatikach Miriam, a Neviah, Achot Aaron? Why here do we mention that she's the sister of Aaron? We know who she is. It's not like a new thing. Second question is, why did she take the tof? Tof is a tambourine or a drum. Why is she taking a drum? Why? Why didn't she take a khalil, a flute, or a string instrument? You know, they could have had a harp or a kino. Why didn't she take something? Why specifically the drum? So maybe we're going to say they only had drums in those days. No, they had khalil, they had flutes, they had simple instruments, strings. Could be she didn't know how to play them. Could be that's why she took the drum, because that was the easiest thing to know how to play. But he asked this question, why does she take specifically the drum? And why did she take it in her hand? In her hand. He said, Vatikach tatof biyada. Okay, it's obvious that you take a drum in the hand. And he asked, why does the pasuk say bimcholot? They don't dance in circles. And the men doesn't say that they dance in circles. Only the women, they dance in circles. Also, the pasuk continues. It says, Vatan lahen Miriam. Do you see that pasuk? Vatikach Miriam Neviah. She took the drum in her hand. V'tetzena kol anashim, all the women. V'tupim u'bimcholot. V'tan lahen Miriam. She called out to them. Shiru LaHashem ki gaoga. Sing to Hashem. Sus v'rochavo rama vayam. So he asked the question, lahem, is that to them? To them is men or to the women? What's lahem? Is that masculine or feminine?
Men, masculine.
Excellent. She said to the men. What was she saying to the men? She was saying to the men, Shiru LaHashem ki gaoga. If she's dancing with women, why is she saying to the men, Shiru LaHashem ki gaoga? And then he asked another question, and he says, why did she say specifically, Suso v'rochavo rama vayam? It's the horse and the rochvo, the rider, horse and rider drowning in the sea. There were many miracles that happened in Yam Suf. One of the miracles was that not only the driver, the rider drowned, but also the horse and the rider drowned in the sea. And this is what she spoke. This is why she chose to sing. Shiru Hashem, sing to Hashem. Sus v'rochavo rama vayam. So that was 6 questions which he asks in the Sefer Vayar Moshe, and he gives a beautiful explanation on the level of Drush, and which is all meromaz in these psukim. Okay, and you're ready for this, and with this we're going to end off this year tonight. But it's a beautiful piece. Is everyone clear on the questions? Or shall we repeat them? Yes, repeat, or yes, it's clear? Okay. So is a midrash, which is, I didn't know this, but the midrash says of a midrash Rabbah, Az yashir Moshe, פיה פתחה בחוכמה ותורת חסד על לשונה. מיום שנברא הקדוש ברוך הוא עולמו. From the day that Hashem created the world, ועד שעמדו ישראל על ים, until עם ישראל crossed the sea, לא מצינו אדם, we did not find one man שאמר שירה לקדוש ברוך הוא. No one said שירה. אז ישיר משה. ישראל ברא אדם הראשון ואמר שירה. Israel is the only one who said שירה and created himself. He created man, אדם הראשון, לא אמר שירה. הציל אברהם מכבשן האש, Abraham was saved from כבשן האש, לא אמר שירה. Yitzchak was saved from the מאכלת, from the קורבן, לא אמר שירה. יעקב was saved from the מלאך, from עשיו, לא אמר שירה. כיוון שבאו ישראל לים ונקרא להם מיד אמר שירה. אז שנאמר, אז ישיר משה.
But how is it possible if if Avraham and Yaakov tiknu, at least Avraham tiken shachrit. In shachrit you say shira.
Okay, so we mentioned, I think we spoke about this last week or way before. what does it mean Avram tiken shachrit? He didn't tiken the words of shachrit. The Amidah was made much later on by Anshe Knesset HaGdolah. The Tefillah, which we say, was born much later on. He just introduced the concept of praying in the morning. That's shachrit. That's what Avram tiken. But he didn't actually say the nusach which we have today. So the question is, why is no one saying Shira? No one knew how to sing. This is only Moshe knew how to sing. He was the musical one, and Miriam just took the drum. What's going on over here?
Maybe it's the happiness.
Again?
It's the happiness.
Of course, Shira is happiness.
No, but maybe that was the happiness.
Saved from, but here it must be a specific happiness which is unusual to all the other happiness before. So he brings a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful explanation from the Admor Mibel. One second, baby's crying. Just give me I'm gonna give it dummy. 1 second. Okay. Salam. My wife took care of that. He gives a beautiful explanation. He says, you know why no one said Shira? Pia patcha b'chokhmah. Torah chesed al leshona. That's what the Midrash says. What's Torah chesed? He said, Am Yisrael, when they left Mitzrayim, what was the purpose of leaving Mitzrayim? What was the purpose? Where were they going to? After Pesach, what's the next Chag?
Accept Torah.
Accept the Torah. He said, we're not just going out of Mitzrayim to get out of Mitzrayim to be in the desert. We're going for a specific mission to be receiving the Torah. Torah chesed al-leshona, the Torah. The whole of creation was created just for Am Yisrael to study the Torah. He said, if we're going to accept the Torah, this is something to sing about. Az Yashir Moshe, we're going to sing about the Torah. And he said that's why they were singing the Torah for the first time. Because this is something to sing about. No, nothing to sing about. Yitzhak was saved from being killed. Nothing to sing about. Yaakov was saved. Nothing to sing about. He said, he's speaking for Lavan, nothing to sing about. You win the lottery, it's nothing to sing about. You buy a house, nothing to sing about. You get married, maybe something to sing about. But according to the Midrash, the only thing you sing about is if you're going to yeshiva. You're going to yeshiva, you're going to learn Torah, that's what you shouldn't be singing about. Az Yashir Moshe, because they're going to learn. So it says Admor Mibel, he said, according to this, I give you a beautiful explanation into the pasuk about Miriam. He said, is Miriam going to learn Torah? If Miriam's not going to learn Torah, well, she's got nothing to sing about. None of the women have got anything to sing about.
Why wouldn't they study Torah again?
Why wouldn't they study Torah?
But the Kabbalah Torah was also so. The Kabbalah Torah was also accepted by the Nashim. Actually, it's not
women and children. All of Am Yisrael were accepting the Torah. There's some mitzvot specifically for women, which only women can keep. A man can't keep this mitzvot. There's a special mitzvot of Nida, Chala, Dakat Haneh, which is specifically for the mitzvot. And of course, all the women are obligated in certain types of mitzvot. But the study of the Torah, of going to yeshiva, there's no yeshiva for women. So what do the women have to sing about? And here he gives a beautiful explanation. He says, you know what the women are singing about? The Gemara in Barachot. Gemara in Barachot says that the men, we're lucky. Yeah? Why are we lucky? Because we have Shiur Torah. We enjoy the Torah. We learn Halacha, we learn Gemara, we learn Midrashim, we learn Navi, we learn Musar, we learn Agadah. It's beautiful. We can learn Torah all day long and all our lifetime and we enjoy it. And we get Olam Haba for it. This is what we get, the greatest Olam Haba. Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam. All the mitzvot you can do is not what you can get Torah from. Someone who can't learn Torah is a misken. He said, what about the women? The Gemara says, Nashim b'mai zachyan. How are the women going to merit Olam Haba? He says, what do you mean? The women can do mitzvot. They keep kasher, they do mitzvot, they keep Shabbat, they can do mitzvot, they do kiddush. He said, no, that's just like small level Olam Haba. That's small. He said, how would they get to the big level of Olam Haba, which is connected to Olam? If they don't have the Limud Torah, b'mai zachyan, how are they going to merit Olam Haba like men?
Yeah, but it's a wife. It's a wife's merit if her husband is studying Torah. Or
Excellent. So the Gemara says, where's the what's the word? Equality. Where's its discrimination? How can women can't reach the high level of Olam Haba like men because they can study Torah? So the Gemara answers quite rightly, like Gilad said. Nashim b'may zachen, what they merit? Shemelavot et yeledehen lebei knishta. He said the women, because they send their husband to learn, and they send their children to learn in the Bet Midrash or Bet Knesset, al yedei zeh, afran yesh lahem chelek b'limud haTorah. He said, in fact, a woman has more opportunity because she